Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalia Leigh. I'm an indie author and the managing editor at Enchanted Ink Publishing, and welcome back to another developmental revision vlog. It is quite rainy out, so you might hear that in the background. Also, I've been fighting pretty bad allergies for about 2 weeks, so I'm very kind of sinusy and nasally today. So the last time I checked in with you, I think my developmental revisions were going really well, and since then I have run into a few little rough patches. Now, I did expect that there was going to be a bit more work at the end of the novel as opposed to the beginning, and that has been the case. I think at this point I have about 15 pages left. I think I definitely have fewer than 20 pages at this point that need to be gone over for like my first developmental revision pass. And yet I feel like in the last maybe 30 to 40 pages, I've had the most work to do. So it has really slowed me down. And part of it, that was a huge lightning. That was a huge lightning. Oh, speaking of which, I will show you in this vlog, probably here, this past week we had another wildfire. This was our 4th one since we have lived here. And this one was so close, I actually got some flames and flare-ups on camera. I also got footage of planes dropping the fire retardant. So that definitely filled my day with stress this past week. I didn't get much work done. Whenever there's a wildfire, which unfortunately seems to be very often here, we have had 4 and we've been here less than 2 years. So we kind of at this point know what we need to do in order to prepare for a potential evacuation. And it would be a lot less stressful if not for the horses. The horses are my biggest stress when it comes to evacuating, because we have to load them into the trailer, we have to bring everything that we need, we have to take them off property, like it's just a whole mess. But thankfully we did not get evacuated, which is pretty like surprising because I literally could see flames, but they got it under control very quickly. So that happened this week. But yeah, I've been working on these revisions. It's going slow, and I am literally, I just hit like the inciting incident of the big battle. So I am at the very end, but I'm feeling like there's a lot of work still to be done. But the other thing is that at this point now that this is my, I wrote it and then I went right into revisions. I think what I'm gonna do is finish this first round of developmental revisions, and then I think I'm going to start writing book 2, because when I was working on Whiskey City, writing it, and I was thinking, gosh, I really wish I could go back to Pistol Daisy and change a few things or add a few things. And at this point, I think it would be good for me to start on book 2, get that rolling, and then I can still later go back and potentially do like a line editing. I have been doing line editing and copy editing along the way, but I could do like a line and developmental pass. But we'll see. This is just where we are. Today is Sunday. It's already 3 o'clock, and we're just gonna open up the document. It's been a few days now, and we're gonna see where I'm at. Thank you for joining me. Let's go ahead and dive in to this developmental revision vlog. So I'm currently on page 134 out of 148. So we're almost there. True to his name, Stormy is standing out in the storm. This is what he does. He comes out of the barn when it starts raining. I think because it gets rid of the heat and the bugs. So he likes to come out and eat. It's dark in here because of the storm, but it's 3:30 and I'm actually gonna go ahead and heat up an early dinner for us. I made vegan lasagna last night. It's so good with like a homemade tofu ricotta. It's one of my favorite meals that I make. But to heat it up, I pop it in the oven for about 45 minutes. So if I pop it in now, it'll be ready just before 4:30 for us to eat. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hello everybody, I didn't feel like going and getting my whole camera setup going, but it is 7:30 on Wednesday, August 2nd, and I am sitting down to work on finishing up the first round of developmental revisions on my paranormal romance. I think I only have like 4 pages left, so I have barely any work to do. I just haven't done it, and we're gonna finish up tonight, and then I'm going to be able to transition into writing book 2. So I'm going to go ahead and get my document pulled up and finish this book. Hello everybody and happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, August 5th. I can't believe it's August already. And the last time I talked to you I think was Tuesday evening when I just filmed on my laptop like webcam. That night after I checked in with you, I did finish the second draft of my book. And I wanted to give you kind of my final word count and such, and let you know what I plan to do going forward from here. It is a pretty warm day. I just came inside. I'm kind of, I look a little bit ragged. I just came inside from watering some of the trees. I'm gonna post a video on my second channel. Greg and I planted so many trees on the property this year. We planted over 200 baby trees, like little plugs. Granted, most of those have not survived. And then we planted about 30 like youthful trees, a few feet. So I need to post that on the second channel. But I watered the trees, did fresh water for the horses. We went and got 6 bales or 12 bales of hay today. So I stacked the hay, just did a lot of stuff. And I just came inside. So that's why I'm looking ragged. Now, I did create kind of a publication plan for this book, and what's cool is that I am ahead of schedule right now. I had originally planned to be done with the second draft around August 10th, but I finished it on the 2nd. So, the first draft of this book was 50,177 words, and the second draft of this book is 56,073. So I added 5,896 words in this draft. Let's just round up and say that I added approximately 6,000 words. And I'm really happy with that because I knew when I was done with the first draft that I needed to bulk it up and I needed to add to it. So that, 6,000 additional words for a relatively short manuscript, 50K, relatively short. That can make a difference. And I am sitting at 151 pages in the second draft and 139 pages in the first. So I added about 12 pages of content. And I am feeling really good about where this book is sitting. I think as I mentioned in a previous clip, I did run into some like a snag, kind of. It wasn't that there was a huge plot problem or anything, but I did feel like I had the action had slowed down and I wasn't super sure why I needed a couple scenes, and I wanted to either cut them or make them relevant to the story. So I did stumble a little bit on a few chapters, and it took me much longer to work through those chapters than it did all of the others. At this point, I did leave those scenes in, but my plan right now is to actually start on book 2. So I'm going to, now that I have done the second draft, I'm going to let this book sit for just a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I mean like a week, maybe a week, max 2 weeks, while I work on the second book. and then I'm going to return to it, do probably a final pass. I of course did line editing and copy editing while I was working on this, and that's something I can do on my own work, but that is not something I could do on a client's work. So Mew is just crying in the background. But because it's my own work, I literally just did them all together at once. But I do need to do another pass, another like strictly copy editing pass. And then I guess eventually I want to sit down and give you a bit more information about my plan with this book. I don't know how much I want to reveal right now. I guess all I can say, or all I'm comfortable saying at this point, is that I'm going to go a different direction with this book than with all of my other books. This manuscript is not like any of those books. It is very much a spicy romance, and I think I'm going to do something different with it than I have with my other books. So I'm going to talk about that in a different video, but I do want to put that out there. I will not be taking the like traditional path that I have with my other books. So yeah, that's where we are at. I am going to, at this point, eat some of these little lemon poppy seed muffins. I'm gonna do some yoga, maybe watch some AuthorTube, and then I'm gonna start writing book 2, which is really exciting to say. I have been so busy. I just yesterday on Friday completed a huge critique. It was 163,000 words. So I've been working very diligently on that for quite some time now. And because I was working so hard on that, I really didn't have hardly any energy left over for anything else. So the fact that that is completed, it is in the author's hands, and I get to transition into a copy edit now coming this week for a new client, a return client. I hope that I will have a little bit more energy, because critiques seem to, depending on the client and depending on just lots of different elements, critiques can take my energy more because I'm really working hard to look at every element of the story and whether it's working or not. You know, everything from like a zoomed out, does this plot work in general, all the way to a zoomed in, how are we handling our point of view? And that kind of stuff can be really tiring throughout, you know, a week or many weeks on end, like I was doing for this previous critique. So I was finding myself absolutely exhausted at the end of every day. But now that that's done, I am feeling energized. I'm feeling more energized. So I am excited to move into book 2 of this paranormal romance trilogy. Now I will go ahead and wrap it up, say thank you guys so much for watching this short little revision vlog. I hope you're doing well. I did not participate in Camp Nano last month, but if you did, I hope that you crushed all of your goals. I am looking forward to November NaNoWriMo, and I want to try to kind of plan my writing so that hopefully I can write book 3 in November of this trilogy. That would be really cool, but more on that in the months to come. All right, thank you guys so much. Again, I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.